You picture a private hospital and see a sanctuary of healing. People get sick, they need care, and they will always need beds. It looks like a bulletproof business model with guaranteed, never-ending demand. Before a single patient walks through the doors, you have to pay the price of admission. You are buying a highly leveraged piece of commercial infrastructure that requires hundreds of millions of dollars in upfront capital. Constructing these sterile surgical suites and negative pressure ventilation systems carries a capital burden equivalent to building a new commercial airport terminal. You face a brutal regulatory moat. In most states, you must secure a certificate of need, a legal process where you fight the government and local zoning boards for years to prove your region requires new beds before you are legally permitted to pour the concrete. Surviving that exhausting regulatory nightmare actually becomes your greatest asset. It blocks competitors from easily opening a facility across the street, effectively handing you a government-protected regional monopoly. Once the building opens, you have to manage fixed operational costs that never stop. The massive power grids and multi-layered coolant systems must run flawlessly 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Your largest, most relentless fixed expense is human capital. You are legally required to staff the floor with highly specialized, licensed nurses and technicians, and you cannot scale those wages back even when the wards are quiet. Treating standard patients in the emergency room or the general medical wards drains your cash flow. Basic bed care functions as a financial loss leader. The drain comes from a financial trap called negative reimbursement. Insurance middlemen and Medicare dictate exactly what they will pay for standard treatments, and those payouts routinely fail to cover the hospital's actual daily operating overhead. This side-by-side bar chart shows the exact math of a standard patient visit. The tall red bar is your fixed overhead cost per bed, and the much shorter gray bar is the insurance payout. You can provide perfect medical care and still mathematically lose money on the transaction. If a regional nursing shortage hits and wages spike, your costs escalate instantly. Because your reimbursement rates are locked into multi-year insurance contracts, your margins compress from healthy to deeply negative in a matter of months. A private hospital absolutely cannot survive by treating sick people in standard wards. Basic care is a financial black hole. If treating standard sick patients mathematically bankrupts the building, how does a private hospital stay solvent and generate massive wealth? The basic care wards operate exactly like the low-margin fuel at a gas station. They are simply the bait designed to pull volume into the system. The real wealth is generated in the hidden engines at the back of the building. These are the highly specialized procedures: orthopedics, cardiology, high-tech diagnostic imaging, and elective surgeries. The financial survival of the entire institution depends entirely on aggressively funneling patients out of the loss-leading emergency rooms and into these specialized, high-margin surgical bays. The mechanic that turns those elective surgeries into the hospital's primary profit engine is a single line item called the facility fee. This visual breakdown of a $50,000 bill shows how this works. We see small segments for the surgeon's time and medical materials, but they are dwarfed by a massive charge labeled the facility fee. It is a toll booth charge for the privilege of occupying space. It has nothing to do with labor or supplies. It is pure rent extracted by the infrastructure. Patients are forced to pay this exorbitant toll because of that certificate of need we discussed earlier. Your regional monopoly ensures they have no alternative infrastructure to turn to. The facility fee operates identically to an airport landing fee. The hospital leverages its engineered scarcity to extract a mandatory rent from every single procedure performed under its roof. When viewing a massive medical bill, recognize that the total represents a mandatory real estate toll that frequently eclipses the actual cost of care. This flowchart visualizes the true economic funnel of the business. The wide red funnel of basic care generates high volume and heavy financial loss, deliberately channeling those patients directly into the narrow, bright green pipeline of elective surgery, where the high profit is actually extracted. This economic model perfectly mirrors a highly leveraged commercial real estate play. Managing the massive fixed debt of the building relies entirely on capturing a captive group of tenants and charging them inescapable usage fees. A private hospital is a highly leveraged real estate and billing machine that turns regional monopolies into inescapable wealth extraction.